Yeah, everyone's saying they can't see me. Can you guys hear me now? It's showing my voice on the screen and everything.
It's still showing your voice. Look.
Like I can see when I'm talking on the screen.
Let me put it on the TV and see if I can get you.
All right, you guys can hear me now?
Alright. Yeah, sometimes it just takes
Fucking
a minute to.
Jesus. 5 minutes later. All right, man. All right, I appreciate it. All right, everyone can hear me, so I'm going now. Thank you. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Thank you. Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, guys, let's get this going. Sorry for that. Sorry, everyone. This happened with my Courtney Brennan one, too. Jesus. All right, guys, here we go. That's not the way, it's not a good way to, I know no video right now, guys. I had to reset everything. Hold on. Such a frustrating way to start a stream. All right, guys. I just need to get this out there. I'm just winging this right now. I'm going to put together a whole video about this that breaks it down properly and all that stuff. So let me see here. Just get this up on the screen. All right, cool. Thank you, guys. Hit the like button in here if you can. To everyone on Facebook, thank you for joining. Hit the like button in here. All right, cool. Audio is working for sure. All right, let's get to this, guys. So this is for a lot of people up in this area. Thanks, Mike. Thank you, Boston Ray. Everyone that heard me on the phone, that was Boston Ray Mudflood. He helping me out with the stream here, how to get this thing going. I'm computer illiterate, so I know that's could be shocking to many, but all right, let's get this thing going. Many people know this incident that happened in the North Shore. A Lynn police officer was arrested for a domestic assault and battery in Salem, Massachusetts. The Salem police then put in a warrant for his phone. Once they went into his phone, they found a bunch of other text messages between that officer and 6 other Lynn police officers and this one Swampscott police officer. So once they looked in the phone, there was messages. They say racial. I'm not going to fall for that. These are kids that grew up obviously in the inner city, Lynn area and all that stuff. In their culture, they use the N-word, as you guys know, with the A at the end, obviously. And so that's the racial part of this. But the more concerning part is the drug usage and supplying or distribution of, as they say, the cokes. Maybe that's they're trying to cover it as if it's Coca-Cola, but so they steroid use, and I think that was the 3 accusations. So let's go through this. This is the internal affairs investigation. Oh, and then this officer was also arrested in February 2022 for DUI. He was passed out in the driver's seat in the parking in the drive-through of Wendy's, I believe it was. So I'm not going to read over this whole thing like I did the other. I posted the link to the IA report and his arrest report in the description of this post. So if you guys want to look over it yourselves and just read through it, I'm just going to kind of point out the more important parts of this. My phone only says there's 62 people in here, but I have a feeling that's not true. So, all right, let's get to this. So I'll read the directive the executive summary, some of the text messages, and then the findings, and then we'll move on to the next report. So, investigative directive of IA 2021-005. The investigator has been directed to investigate the allegations outlined in IA 2021-005. See attachment number 1, which were uncovered during an investigation being conducted by the Lynn Police Department / Office of Professional Standards. This Lynn investigation, hereafter referred to as the LPD Invest, was initially tied to 7 Lynn police officers for their use of racist language, illegal drugs, and steroids. The goal of this investigation is to determine whether credible information exists that substantiates conduct of Officer Joel Pimentel that is in violation of Swampscott Police policies, procedures, rules, regulations, and any other laws of the Commonwealth. Officer Joel Pimentel was a patrolman assigned to the 1st Division, having 17 months of service with the department. He was hired by this department after he had been employed by the MBTA Police continuously since he began working for them in October of 2017. Executive summary. On May 7th, 2021, this department was notified by Lynn Police that their investigation had uncovered a screenshot of a text exchanged between Officer John Clem, Lynn PD, and a party named Joel. The screenshot of the text was found on a third-party phone. In this text were 2 uses of the word and a reference to a couple of perk 30s. It is unknown who Joel was at this time, but Lynn PD suspected it may be our Officer Joel Pimentel. This was based on the facts that they learned Officer Joel Pimentel in the Swampscott Police Department was socially connected to the group, and there was a small thumbnail photo which did have some resemblance to Officer Joel Pimentel, though it was too small and unclear to be sure. Text of the screenshot follows. The third male reference is believed to be Joel Please Us D. He's a weird dude. Clem. He's a weird dude. Joel. Couple perk 30s. Clem. He's like, nothing crazy. Question mark. You good? Nah, you're phony too. You're phony, bro. All set with you. Excuse me? Let me guess. Name redacted. This stuff's ridiculous. The redactions and all that stuff, absolutely ridiculous. Let's see. Let me guess. Redacted name started some BS. Kill A for you. Keep riding with your Lynn boys. Y'all are cool over there. So Joel's basically saying stick up for your crew. That's your Lynn boys from the Lynn PD. Clem says, WTF are you talking about? You gonna tell me or what? Never badmouth you or talk S about you. Legit called you. Yo, bring my dog over. Don't like how you was trying to put this dude redacted name on top of my ex. Are you effing joking me? I didn't set anyone up with redacted name. Read all the messages and go, this redacted name probably enticed it. Here they just mention how this spurred an investigation. There's racially charged language. Involved the racially charged language. This investigation interviewed Officer Pimentel. Union President K. Reen was present. Officer Pimentel acknowledged that he was in fact Joel involved in the text exchange. He identified the other person involved as John Clem A. He described the text as being fueled by anger and intoxication. He said that in general he felt that it was a low point in his life, was upset at the end of a relationship with the woman in question, and thought his life his longtime friend was setting him his ex-girlfriend with another guy. He did not believe was appropriate for his good friend to set the woman up, that he had just ended a relationship with another guy, and he was upset. He was intoxicated, allegedly alcohol only, when he sent those messages. In explaining the text, he said a couple perk 30s. Officer Pimentel said this was a reference to his favorite movie, The Town, a reference to the third party referenced in a text, Joe Pleasus, whatever, however you say that, as being weird or messed up. The phrase did not appear to be said in answer, a weird dude. So these just explain, all this stuff here. His explanation for, here, let me see. Right here, he's saying his explanation is just, I guess I can't highlight that. Is he grew up in the community, and that's just how they spoke. Let's see. All right, this one's talking about the cokes. In due diligence, while preparing to make a final decision in the case of the racially charged language, Chief Madigan on June 22nd, 2021, sought to confirm that no new text or other new connections to the Officer Pimentel have been uncovered in the Lynn Invest. They said they were going to say LPD Invest. So this is how incompetent these guys are. They don't even go by what they say. At the time, this department was made aware of some new information that had in fact emerged. This information implicated Officer Pimentel in the use and or possession of cocaine on 2 or 3 occasions. I confirmed the existence of this information by going to Lynn PD and meeting with Captain Sharp and Lieutenant Kamek on June 23rd. They allowed me to listen to the 2 brief clips of the officers interviewed and summarized 2 texts for me. At this time, they were unable to provide any copies of documentation. Lynn Officer Vin Sorelli stated that he had done cocaine with Officer Pimentel once or twice. Do you know Joel? Pimentel indicated by making an affirmative sound. Where does he fit in with you? Has he used cocaine with you before? Yes, once or twice. This was stated in a recorded interview. I'm going to work on getting this IA report, all of these IA reports with all the audio and everything as well. Lynn PD is definitely going to try to charge me for that, for sure. They tried to charge me for just a police report. Lynn Officer Millis stated that he had done cocaine at Officer Pimentel's house sometime at the end of last year or the beginning of this one, 2020, 2021, in Joel's bedroom. The Lynn police officer Clem present, with Officer Clem present, and that Officer Pimentel was the one who had the cocaine. Lynn investigator, recording cuts in mid-sentence. Have you done it? Mills, I think it was actually just, it was 2 times at Clem's house. So it was 1 time at Boston, 2 times at Clem's house, and then there was 1 time at Joel's house. And that was, and when was that? I don't recall exactly what it was. Sorry, guys. Roughly. Long pause. I honestly don't know. I don't know if it was the end of last year or the beginning of this year. All right, so you do know. You do have an idea. That's roughly right there. Beginning of last year, end of last year, beginning of this year. Who else was present from the Lynn Police Department when you did it? Clem, as far as I can recall. Lynn, investigator. Jess Clem? Mills, yes, investigator. Where'd you do it? There, in Joel's bedroom, Mills says. Who had it? Joel. Where did you get it from? I have no idea. This was stated in a recorded interview. In the first group of texts provided, John Clem A. discusses being at Encore Casino and Officer Pimentel is present. The texts include discussions of Clem A. about desiring cocaine. The following will reference to as text 1. You guys can read the Clem and the all who it's from and everything. So just kind of, hey Leslie, hey Crofty, hey I haven't looked down for a while. Sticks of Maine, CMGA, Bamacam, Bill of Rights. What's up, everyone? Thank you for joining. All right, so you guys just follow along with me. I'm going to start at the top. Clem A. Yo, you on the air? Joe, guess where I'm at? The Mecca. Casino? Oh, yeah, Joe. With who? Joel. Dante? Ha ha ha. You know that. Image sent. I wonder what it is. 3 images sent. So bad, Joe. You and me gotta go back. That was such a good time. I barely even remember that night. The one night I puked everywhere. When we need to do that again. The other night we got lost in the garage and ended up halfway in Revere and Ubered home from Revere 7-Eleven by the beach. Oh, that was great. We definitely need to, I think they said do it again, but it says dog. Don't let me down tonight. I wish I had Cokes. Text number 2, save us on the parking lot. Luke just got there, ETA. Can you hit up Joel's brother-in-law? I'll pay for the whole thing. You don't have to pay a cent. All met. I think he said it meant to say all set. I'll go get the cash, right, Ken? I don't have his number now. I'll try to get it. I don't have it either. I never saved it. I don't have his number. I know, bro. I trying to get it. So the officer's brother-in-law is the one that was supplying the coke to the officer, Pimentel, who then was supplying it to his other officer friends. Names redacted here have no connection to our report and are not assigned identifying letters. What do you guys think of that? Do you think the names of, even if it's civilians or whoever is involved in the illegal activity involving police officers, should be public record? And guys, everyone needs to reach out and speak up to people, and everything in the comments, everything will be linked in the description, including contact information to the Essex County District Attorney's Office, because more charges should be brought up on this officer and all the other officers. Also, the Swampscott Police and the Lynn Police. I will leave all contact information. I meant to do that already, but I will do that when I end this here. So let's see. AI 2021-005 was initiated into the specific conduct case. IA 2021-004 involved the investigation of racist language and administrative in nature only, whereas the allegations in IA 2021-005 relate to potential criminal conduct unknown at the initiation of IA 2021-004. On June 24th, Officer Pimentel was out of the country on vacation in Dominican Republic. He called the station in response to a text request to do so and was verbally read the chief's letter placing him on paid administrative leave. Oh no, that's too bad, huh? He confirmed access to email and was emailed a copy of the letter, and some potentially relevant employee assistance program services. So on and so forth. Let's get to the good juicy stuff. On June 28th, Lieutenant Michael Kamek, Lynn PD, sent a memo to Deputy Chief Michael Vale with a brief summary of all information uncovered at the point in connection with Officer Pimentel. The memo was forwarded to Chief Madigan. It contained 5 bullet points related to Officer Pimentel. They read: the language contains in points 1 through 5 the exact language contained in Lynn memo. Text dated January 26, 2020. There are texts about contacting Joel's brother-in-law. Based on the messages, it is believed that Clem A. and Plessius D. were attempting to purchase cocaine. Text dated February 22nd, 2020, and the text messages regarding Clem the third A. being at the Encore with Joel. The messages include conversations about obtaining cocaine. Text dated from March 15th, 2020, racially charged language discovered in text. The messages from this date contained screenshots of text sent from Joel to Clem, and it should be noted that because these screenshots come from another phone, we LPD are unable to confirm the contact information as Joel Pimentel. Deputy Chief Desmarais provided copies of the screenshots to Chief Madigan on May 7th, 2021. During the course of the investigation, we at LPD interviewed former Officer Jonathan Mills. Mills stated in his interview that he used cocaine on one occasion at Pimentel's residence on an unknown date. Mills stated that the cocaine used in Pimentel's bedroom and that Pimentel supplied the cocaine. We LPD also interviewed former Officer Dante Vinicerelli, who stated he used cocaine with Pimentel once or twice. See how quick they throw each other under the bus. On June 29th, Pimentel responded to the station at noon as ordered. He, accompanied by Kevin Reen and Michael Chandler for the union representatives, he turned in his firearm, pepper spray, baton, radio, hat, badge, one shirt, badge, station key, electronic key, key fob, and police ID. He was provided and signed for his notice of allegations, including the following. The department has received information resulting in internal investigation at the Lynn Police Department, which implicates Officer Pimentel behaving in violation of the below rules and regs of policies and procedures. Rules and regulations 4.02, conduct unbecoming of an officer. Rule and regulation 6.09, truthfulness as related to statements made during IA 2021-004. Rule and regulation 10.15, criminal conduct. Rule and regulation 13.09, possession/use of controlled substances. Drug and alcohol policy 1.252. Prohibited conduct, section I, the use, transfer, manufacture, sale, unauthorized possession of any illegal drug not related to lawful performance and activity and duties. Pimentel was advised of possibly new charges based on the information coming to light. He received and signed a notice to appear on July 2nd, 9 a.m. His notice of responsibilities in order to submit a drug testing, the right to contest reasonable suspicion. He declined to challenge reasonable suspicion and accompanied Sergeant Locke and Kevin Reen to Quadrant Health in Beverly for a drug screen. The drug screen ordered was a standard 10-panel with an additional request for steroid testing. The results of all tested substances were negative, cocaine being one of the drugs for tested. On Friday, July 2nd, 2021 at 9 a.m., Officer Pimentel then came to the station, interviewed, ordered. He was accompanied by the union, blah, 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 blah. The interview was recorded. The statement was read by me and signed by Officer Pimentel. For the transcript of the interview, see attachment. During the interview, Officer Pimentel answered some biological questions and a few others, largely invoked his rights to not self-incriminate. You guys can read over this. I'm trying to save a little bit of time here. That first 5 minutes was rough too. Swampscott Police officer, have you ever been present on any illegal drugs? So he just basically pled the fifth to everything here. In answering questions pertaining to the people he went to the Encore with, Attorney Klein requested he list every person he could remember going to the casino with recently. He said that he had gone with several people, but he could only remember 3 when pressed: Corey Donahue, Greg Gilchrist, and his girlfriend. He stated he does not recall if he was there on February 22nd, 2022. He does not mention remembering to be there with Clem. There seems little reason to doubt that Clem text it was sent at the time he was at the casino with no expectation that it would become known. Officer Pimentel declined the opportunity to offer information he would like us to consider as we are investigating this case, whether exculpatory or mitigating. His union representative declined the opportunity to make a statement on the record. Tuesday the 6th, Lieutenant Kamick responded to a request more complete information relative on Wednesday, July 7th. The letters requesting Dante Vinicius, whatever, how we say that, Jonathan Mills to come to our station and be interviewed were mailed on July 9th. Identical requests were mailed to Clem. That last name, Plessians, Recupero, Melissi. I'm destroying these names. And Chalmers. All right, findings. The following is based on the information available to me as July 9th, 2021. Further information, inculpatory and exculpatory, may come to light. With the information available at this time, I find that the allegation of Joel Pimentel, both used and possessed cocaine, is credible and sustained by the preponderance of the evidence. I find that the statements made in the LPD investigation regarding Officer Pimentel to be credible and reliable. The statements are known witnesses with firsthand basis of knowledge made against their own interests. You guys can read over all that. I want to get down to everything was sustained. So that's basically what all this says. I find it credible that the following reasons: the texts were real conversations and took place many months ago, with no reason to question their authenticity and motivations. They were made in private and where the participants had no reason to expect them to be revealed. It would be noted neither text explicitly ties Officer Pimentel to use, possession, and supplying of cocaine. The only ties Officer Pimentel was being present at the Encore Casino was a desire to have cokes. However, this must be viewed with the context that Joel and Clem A have used cocaine together, and established that statement by Mills only directly indicates that Clem and whatever appear to wish to purchase cocaine, and that they were in a hope to to accomplish this through Joel's brother-in-law. However, while they appear to know Joel's brother-in-law can supply them with cocaine, they do not know how to contact him. As we have no access to Clem A's phone or Pimentel's phone, it is unknown if he reached out to Pimentel to facilitate these transactions. Now, don't you think with this criminal behavior that they would gain a search warrant for those text messages? Because it's weird, because I know my property's been held for 3 months without a warrant, and they're trying to say it's being held because it was used in the commission of a crime. No text messages or anything were sent in mine in a commission of a crime. My phone was on me while they allege I committed a crime. Conduct unbecoming of an officer, the rules and regulations of the Swampscott, the police department reads as part. Both on and off duty conduct may subject an officer to a charge of the conduct unbecoming of an officer. Officers do not serve their relationship with the department at the end of their shift. Sever. Jesus Christ. Officers shall not commit any specific acts or acts of immoral, improper, unlawful, disorderly, or intemperate conduct, whether on or off duty, which reflects discredit or reflects unfavorable upon the officer himself, upon his fellow officers, or upon the police department. The use, possession, or provision of illegal drugs such as cocaine meets the standard, and given the statements of Officer Vincerelli and Mills that Pimentel used, possessed, and or supplied cocaine on more than one occasion, and the credibility ascribed to those statements, I find that Pimentel violated the rules of the department, truthfulness, and the rules and regulations of the Swampscott Police Department. Officers shall speak in truth at all times in cases in which the officer is not allowed by the regulations of the department to divulge facts within the knowledge, he will decline to speak on the subject. Sorry, guys. So this officer, everything that he has put out there for charges against other people, his affidavits, his testimonies, everything still stands, even though he was obviously under the taking or had drugs in his system. He was obviously using cocaine a lot, because you guys know, if you have it on you, and well, maybe you guys don't know, but if you have it on you and there's a middleman and you're that middleman, you use it. You don't just use it on the weekends here and there. You use it. Criminal conduct of the rules and regulations, the Swampscott Police Department reads: officers shall not commit any criminal act, felony, or misdemeanor, or violate the criminal laws of the statutes of the United States or in any state or local jurisdiction by law or ordinance, whether on or off duty. Any officer may be guilty of this regardless of the outcome of the criminal court case. The use of possession of cocaine violates Massachusetts General Law 94C, Section 34, given the statements of officers. Now these statements could be used to put, because they're officers, so their word is everything in court. So why aren't these officers all being charged? Because their statements incriminate each other or themselves, and there's obviously criminal and a lot more criminal conduct happening. Possession, use of controlled substances of the rules and regulations of the Swampscott Police Department reads: officers shall not possess and or use on or off duty any controlled substances, except with the approval or guidance of a licensed physician and with the knowledge of the chief. Given the statements of Officer Vincerelli and Mills that Pimentel used, possessed, and or supplied cocaine on more than one occasion, incredibly ascribed, ascribed to those statements, I find that Pimentel violated the rule of the department, drug and alcohol policy, prohibited conduct, prohibited the use, transfer, manufacture, or sale of unauthorized possession of any drug not related to the lawful performance of police duties. Given the statements, I find that Pimentel violated this rule of the department. Finally, IA 2021-004, use of racially charged language remains outstanding, as any disciplinary decision will be based on a total picture of Pimentel's conduct. I believe there is an additional finding to be made and considered regarding conduct unbecoming of an officer on the rules and regulations of the Swampscott Police Department. Reads in part, both on and off duty conduct may subject an officer to charge of conduct unbecoming of an officer. Officers do not sever their relationship with the department. Officers shall not commit any specific acts or acts of immoral, improper, unlawful, disorderly, or intemperate conduct, whether on or off duty, which reflects, discredits, or reflects unfavorable upon the officer himself, upon his fellow officers in the police department. I'm not going to read any of that because YouTube won't like it. Language is clearly improper for the public official use. I find that Pimentel violated this rule. The use of the word is both unacceptable and incompatible with being a police officer. Conclusion, I have found the following to be sustained and supported by the preponderance of the evidence. Conduct unbecoming of an officer: sustained possession, use, and or supplying cocaine based on interviews with Mills and Vincerelli. Truthfulness: sustained for intentionally being untruthful in statements made during IA 2021-004. Criminal conduct: supplying cocaine based on interviews with Mills and sustained for use, possession, and supplying cocaine based on interviews with Mills and Vincerelli. Possession/use of controlled substance: sustained for the use and possession of cocaine based on interviews with Mills and Vincerelli. Drug and alcohol policy: sustained for use, possession, and supplying cocaine based on interviews with Mills, C, and Vincerelli. Conduct unbecoming of an officer: based on IA 2021-004, sustained for use of racially charged language based on text screenshots and Pimentel's admission of authorship. Officer Pimentel did not refute any of the allegations. Instead, he asserted his rights under the Fifth Amendment in Article 12, that to answer the questions on the subject would implicate himself. Criminally, he offered one direct answer to a drug use question, stating that when he said he was intoxicated when sending the racially charged text to Clem, his intoxication in that case was based on alcohol only, not cocaine. Officer Pimentel did not request any help from the department in this additional issue. Officer Pimentel and the union declined for opportunity to make the mitigating statement, provide any exculpatory information, or make the statement. And that's where this ends, guys. That one ends right there, which is weird because the one with Beverly, they actually said they were forwarding all of her information to, I forgot what it was, but they were she put in her resignation and all that stuff. They did mention that he turned in all of this stuff in that report, but so this is his police report from his arrest for an OUI. Let's get that up on the screen here. I'm going to go over this real quick. So I got this information from a person that has been charged with a crime because of this officer lying and saying that he made certain gestures with his hands as if he was holding a rifle. So as you see here, guys, he was charged in, when was this? February think it was February. Yeah, February with OUI liquor. It's funny if you guys see right here, Maury is the judge. He's actually the one that continued my no harassment order. If you guys don't know about that, there's going to be a video about that as well. So let's get to first. Let me come out of here. Let me show you the quick video of where the alleged threat of committing a crime. So guys, don't mind this. It says up here, this was just at a rally, so that's why it's named that, because that's what the rally was named. It's going to take a minute to load, guys. Sorry, hold on. All right. So as you see, there's some police officers over here. Now let's watch this real quick. I think it's right at the beginning of this clip. I hope so. I didn't realize it's 2 hours and some odd long here.
Good morning. This is Diana Live.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to try to get the timestamp here, guys. We'll do this after. This alleged threat happened on. You could see it on this live stream. Let me see if I can get a. All right, I'm going to try to get a timestamp on that video. Let's get over to the. But anyway, his affidavit, his everything is being taken as if we were under drugs and alcohol, they wouldn't let us be up on the stand. They wouldn't let us. They always ask you before you say anything, are you or have you taken any drugs in the last 24 hours, blah, 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 blah. So how is it all these officers can drink and drug and party and do all this, whether it's on or off duty, and then write these reports, show up to court, have these sworn affidavits and statements under oath, and they're lying their asses off. So, all right, let's read over this real quick. I'm going to try to get the body cam footage for this. He has his trial is coming up. So they're not going to probably release the body cam footage until after the trial. Hold on. I thought this was the first page. He refused the breathalyzer. All right, I got the timestamp, so we'll do that right after this. Jesus, that's not the first one either. I thought I put these in order. I put them in order, but they didn't load in order, I guess. How long have I been live right now? Can't even see. Not too many people watching anymore. Oh well, as long as this gets out there, I don't care. I hope mainstream picks up. There he is. So guys, I want to point this out. I think steroid use is very obvious. He is 5'9", 210 pounds. I'm 6 feet tall, 170, 165, 170-ish. I don't know. Through this court stuff that I've been going through, I've lost a little bit of weight. I started gaining it after all these years, but 210, 5'9", 210. That's fucking, that's like Mighty Mouse shit right there. So that's his refusal. Continued from what the hell? So fucking frustrating, dude. What the fuck is going on, man? All right, so I'm just gonna go over this. Something must not have uploaded or something. I arrived at scene first. I was traveling Broadway towards Boston Street and pulled alongside a drive-through line where I observed the above vehicle, Mass Reg. All right, I guess I'll just start from the top, whatever. Respectfully, and tasked with patrolling the eastern part of Lynn, Massachusetts in fully marked Lynn Police cruisers 11 and 17 at approximately 1:38 hours, we were dispatched to the McDonald's restaurant drive-thru at 60 Boston Street for reports of a male party passed out in a pickup truck. It should be noted that the McDonald's restaurant drive-thru is open 24 hours and the public has the right of access in this lot via Boston Street and Ford Street, both of which are public ways defined in the Commonwealth and maintained by the City of Lynn, Lynn Department of Public Works. I arrived on scene as I traveled in Broadway toward Boston Street, pulling alongside the drive-through line where I observed the above vehicle, Mass Reg VT34498, idling at the ordering screen. I began utilizing the horn and my emergency blue lights on my marked cruiser as other vehicles were backed up behind the pickup truck and I still hadn't moved as I parked adjacent to it. I exited my marked cruiser, activated my department body-worn cam, and notified dispatch that I was on scene. I walked up to the driver's side window, shined my flashlight into the driver's seat, and I observed the above operator unconscious with his eyes closed and appearing asleep. He was later identified as Joel Pimentel, date of birth 10/15/1994. I then opened the driver's side door and nudged the operator twice without success, which is when I removed the keys from the ignition and placed them on the roof of the vehicle. Upon opening the driver's door, I could immediately smell odor of intoxicating liquor coming from the interior of the vehicle. After removing the keys from the vehicle, I gave Mr. Pimentel a sternum rub, which caused him to wake up, and he began speaking in an unintelligible manner. Mr. Pimentel then stated along with lines of, "That ripped dude, I go once, I seen that shit dude, I ain't winning at all." Whoa. I then informed him I had removed the keys and asked for his driver's license, where he began to search around his vehicle for it, and stated he did not have his wallet on him. His movements were noted as slow and lethargic. His eyes were red and glossy and his speech was slurred. He had told me he hadn't been driving and had just pulled his vehicle over here while simultaneously motioning behind him. At this time, Officer Loria arrived on scene to assist, where I then ordered Mr. Pimentel out of the vehicle. When Mr. Pimentel stepped out of the vehicle, he was unsteady on his feet, which is when I asked him to step against the McDonald's restaurant in case he fell over from his unsteadiness. Again, I asked for his driver's license and any form of identification, while Officer Loria checked the front seat compartment of the vehicle for identification. I then asked to check his pockets, as I could see a bulge consistent with a wallet in his front right sweatpants pocket, where he told me he was a former cop from Swampscott. I was then able to remove his wallet from his front right pocket and locate his driver's license, where I confirmed his identification as Mr. Pimentel. Where I asked where he was coming from, he told us that he was coming from Tony's, a sports pub located down the street at 196 Franklin Street. I told him that I could smell alcoholic beverages coming from his person and that his eyes were red and glossy. He was asked if he had a few drinks at Tony's, which he confirmed and said a few. And I advised him that he was being audio and video recorded to our body-worn camera. I then asked him if I could administer standard field sobriety tests, to which he stated no. The Lynn Fire Department also arrived on scene at the time and asked if Mr. Pimentel had a lot of drinks, to which he shook his head and he hadn't had a lot. I again asked him how many drinks he had at Tony's, which he said he wasn't sure how many he had, and apologized for putting us in a tough position. While Officer Loria stood with Mr. Pimentel, I returned to the marked cruiser, turned my body-worn camera on mute mode to notify Sergeant McGuire of the situation, and requested a tow for Pimentel's vehicle. That's some sketchy shit, huh, guys? Huh? He put it on mute to have his conversation with the sergeant, probably to see what they could do to help him, but there's nothing they could do. Based on our observations on scene with Mr. Pimentel, Mr. Pimentel's displayed behavior and nature of the call, I approached Mr. Pimentel and told him to turn away from me. I then placed Mr. Pimentel under arrest, applied handcuffs to the wrist, behind the back, and double locked. And while checking for tightness, he then escorted to a marked cruiser 11 by Officer Loria and myself, where he appeared to have difficulty maintaining balance, placed into the rear cage compartment of the marked cruiser. 11. He appeared to marked cruiser. Sorry, guys, I lost my place. Sergeant McGuire was notified of the arrest. Approval. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to do something at the same exact time. Notified of the arrest. Approved by a tow by Bill Woods Towing for a 12-hour hold, where car number 8 and Officer Harkness remained on scene to wait for the tow. Officer Loria and Harkness and myself then conducted a motor vehicle inventory of the truck. Officer L'Oreal, Officer Harkins, and Officer Pimentel's vehicle, where damage was noted to the front left bumper of his vehicle. The damage appeared fresh, and there was red paint transfer on the bumper. Also noted inside of the vehicle was a vanity plate labeled MBTA Transit Police Official Business inside the door compartment of the front passenger side. Also noted inside of several Swampscott Police patches. Prior to transporting Mr. Pimentel, Officer Loria and I muted our body-worn cameras in order to discuss the situation, and where Officer Loria stated he would investigate the roadways leading back to Tony's in search of any damaged property that Mr. Pimentel's vehicle may have struck. I then noted dispatch that I would be transporting Pimentel back to the Lynn Police station for booking. During the transport, it should be noted that the interior of the cruiser began to smell of intoxicating liquors and that Mr. Pimentel was inside. During booking, Mr. Pimentel was provided a statutory rights of consent form by Sergeant McGuire, to which he declined a chemical test and was given several recorded phone calls to arrange bail. While making one of the several phone calls, he told another person on the phone that we had failed to provide him standard field sobriety testing, which could be noted he declined after booking once bail. was dropped off to the station for him. Mr. Pimentel asked Officer L'Oreal for another call. Officer L'Oreal advised him that he had already made several phone calls, but Mr. Pimentel began upset that he was being denied him a right to a phone call. Concluding our booking, Mr. Pimentel, I issued and placed into his property a copy notice of suspension of MA uniform citation for the following: operating under the influence of alcohol, negligent operation of a motor vehicle. All right. Now let's see this video real quick. I want to see what we can see. It is at the 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 16 second mark. Let's get this back up. Right after this, guys, I'm probably going to be ending it. So I did go live on my MA Live Facebook page as well. So I appreciate everyone over on Facebook and my main YouTube channel, Mass Accountability. For those of you on my MA Live page that don't know about that page, I'm on both channels right now, guys, and I appreciate you all. Next couple months is going to be a pretty crazy ride. There's some things that's going to be happening, including complaints filed on judges, appeals on certain things, and motions placed in court. I'm not going to say what kind or anything of that sort. Sorry, this is taking a minute to come up, so I just figured I'd fill that in with a little bit of information for you guys. Let's see. Two minutes. Two minutes, 9 seconds, and 2 minutes. We'll start it right there.
Alright, you support him.
So what do you have to yell at us? So what do you have to yell at us?
You should be happy, dancing across the street.
You got 16 seconds, and this is where the alleged, these are the cops here.
Yeah, they are going to get
These are the alleged cops. This is the alleged threat.
We don't own the rights to this music. We don't own the rights. Where's Paula Baker, Melania Trump Smith? Paula Baker, Melania Trump Smith. Lisa!
I think that was right here, this guy.
And remember. Mark, go away. Mark, he's not with us.
So do we see? I didn't see any pointing or alleged pointing of a rifle.
We don't own the rights to this music.
Right here, this one right here.
Baker, Melania Trump Smith.
So one of these cops says that this guy raised his hands. If you guys know how you aim in a rifle, it also threats here in Massachusetts. There has to be some sort of way a person can actually like.
Mark, go away. Go away. Mark, go away.
You have to be able to at least go through with a threat, or like if you point a rifle or something, you have to own a rifle, or you have to have the means to actually pull the threat off. So
he's not. Here, we're gonna sing.
let's see if there's more to this here.
We're supposed to be. Let them. Okay, we're gonna sing. Mark, go away.
Mark, go away.
We're gonna sing. Make it louder.
All right. Now they're gonna start singing and everything. So all this information is all linked with my Google Drive link under Joel Pimentel IA Cokes DUI arrest report. share this video on Facebook, YouTube. Also share the IA report itself. Everything's going to be linked in the description. Also, make sure you use all the contact information. This Essex County District Attorney's Office is crooked as hell. They will always push and aim for charges that are impossible to be prosecuted when it's just people like us. But when it's cops and there's obvious crimes that happen, I didn't hear any. Oh, so this person with all the Z's, that's the one that was in that video. So he's saying that he said the cop said he pointed in the air like a rifle and said 100-round mag at your door. I mean, couldn't hear a lot because Diana was kind of cackling, but I didn't see anything of any type of rifle pointing or anything. Everyone go back, look and see what you can hear or find or any of that. So again, I'm going to share all the contact information, Essex County District Attorney's Office, the Swampscott Police and Lynn Police Department. Everything will be linked in the description. I appreciate all you guys' support. It's going to take me probably 5-10 minutes to get all that information in the description. But I appreciate you all. Share, like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. I appreciate all you guys. Pimentel was the one off to the right. So maybe I can work my magic and zoom in a little better and get some good. Oh, you're welcome, Bob. I'm glad you like it. Thanks for the support, man. I hope that the other gift I dropped was good for you too. I can do that much more often if it's helping you too, Bob. I got you. Thanks, John. TPH victims, appreciate all you guys. Have a great day. I should be releasing another video maybe today, if not. Oh yeah, and this guy is banned from Swampscott. He cannot go into Swampscott because of these charges. Again, I'm going to make a whole nother shorter video with all the key points and this guy's whole situation within it. So I appreciate you all. I'm going to end this now. If you want to donate to any of my PayPal Cash App for my journalistic efforts, you can do that. That MA store that Leslie just shared is my Teespring store. I'd rather you guys not go there, but if you want to buy something from there, it's really expensive. I'm making up my own merchandise. It is on my community page and it is on my MA Live page. I'm going to post more about my merch today on my community page on YouTube. I'm kind of winging it right now, but I'm hand delivering to anyone in the Massachusetts area. And I am also sending it out to people myself. Everything's hand printed, screen printed myself. So, all right, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you all. Much love, respect, and appreciation.